What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. For years, collectors have been asking Sideshow to do a Flash premium format, and they finally delivered. We're going to do an unboxing and a review of this bad boy. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and let's jump into it. Alright, here is the art box. We have a picture of Barry Allen on the front with the comic book grayed out panels and the yellow electricity throughout. Flash logo on the back. Very cool art box. Actually got a chance to see where they designed these art boxes when we took a tour of Sideshow's headquarters, so that was super cool. Always have awesome art boxes. But that's not why we're here. We're going to go ahead and open it up and take a look at the Flash. Alright, let's take a look at the base. You have this piece of cement concrete, a piece of the road here. You can see the top, it's all damaged up, and you have kind of this rebar type material poking through. Bottom of the base here, the Flash, number 442 out of 600. Alright, looking at the Flash, he's pretty much one piece. Just his hand, his wrist in his hand, and the lightning bolts on the ears are separate, but for the most part, it's just one piece. Very long piece. He's outstretched as much as he can, ready to take off. So much muscle definition that we'll talk about in the review. Alright, here's his right hand, stretched out as well. That's good. Then we have the two options for his left hand. You have his regular hand, just stretched out, and then you have the Captain Cold gun. This is the exclusive. A nice little Easter egg to one of his rogues. Alright, then we have two different display options for his headgear, the lightning parts on his ears. Alright, so this should be a quick assembly, no pun intended, but you just have this big chunk that keys into the back. Alright, so we got the Flash plugged in. Let's go ahead and get his right arm put on. There we go. And then here's where we have two options. We'll start with the collector's edition. It's got his left hand outstretched in this runner's pose. And let's go lightning bolt on the ears here. And there we go. Told you it'd be a quick assembly. There goes the Flash.
Now run, Barry, run!
Alright, now that we got the 360, let's go ahead. We'll take out the collector's edition. We'll put on the exclusive edition, which is him holding Captain Cold's gun. Captain Cold is one of his rogues, one of his villains. And he's kind of like a Mr. Freeze type of character. So, nice little Easter egg there. And we'll switch out these bolts and we'll try on what's looking to me like the old school headdress. Alright guys, so the Flash first appeared as Barry Allen in the Silver Age of Comics, 1956, and the comic Showcase issue number 4. Now that's also considered the first Silver Age book in comics. Before that you had the Golden Age. And they did have a Golden Age version of the Flash called Jay Garrick, but this is a little bit of a different version. The Flash statue is sculpted by the great Daniel Bell, who has been putting in a lot of work for Sideshow lately. We recently saw his Silver Surfer and his Bane premium format at Sideshow Con. And he's been doing a ton of stuff. Thor, Breaker of Brimstone, the Captain America premium format, a ton of other things. So great sculptor. And this statue, like I mentioned, looking at the base, it has an edition size of 600 for the exclusive edition. And that costs $575. So if you want the exclusive with the lower edition size and Captain Cold's gun, it's going to run you $575. Now the collector's edition, which only comes with the hand, there are 1,200 of them, and it costs $560. So $15 more for the exclusive, but you have a more limited piece. So now let's get into the review itself. When I first saw this unveiled, I absolutely love this piece from the get-go. And this is one that you kind of either love it or hate it. I thought the pose looked so powerful. Like he's really showcasing what makes him the Flash, which is his speed, right? But he's exerting so much energy. His body is stretched out to its limits, and I loved the comparison to the Olympic runner. Once I saw this comparison, I was like, man, Daniel Bell knows what he's doing. There are some criticisms about this piece as far as some of the anatomy, but we're talking comic book characters, and this is the fastest man alive, right? So I thought it was a really good pose, a lot of energy in it, a lot of somberness in it too. I mean, because he's exerting himself, but his face is super calm. He knows what he's doing. He's done this a million times. He's literally tearing up the asphalt on the piece of the road here. You can see it buckling up and being destroyed under his right foot. His left foot is kicked up. And what I think this one really captures is that runner's pose, man. He's got the right arm up with his right leg back, left arm's back with his left leg up. It's a perfect running pose. So the pose, the sculpt is incredible. I mean, if you look at his muscles, I think Sideshow did a great job with not only the sculpt, but the paint and shadowing as well. Because if you look at his costume, it's all red. But they have a lot of black shadowing on all those creases and all those crevices where his muscles are, and it really accentuates them. It looks really, really good. And it almost looks like, not even black highlights, maybe like dark red, because if you look at like the middle parts of his body, it's more of that fire engine red, but then it starts getting just faded to a darker red, almost a maroon. So that looks awesome. The muscles look amazing. His calves look awesome. His thighs are pretty lean, actually. But he's got more of a runner's physique. But a lot of these superhero characters we see have like these huge thighs, these huge quads, big muscles. But he's very lean and muscular. The reds look great. The yellows look good too. The yellows have some shadowing and shading in there as well, right? Because you have some bright yellow to it, almost to like a darker orangey kind of look. Nice line work and detail in the boots. You have line work throughout the costume, so it's not just like pajamas. It's got like a tactical nature to it. It doesn't have texture, but it doesn't look smooth either, right? If you look at like the seam lines like around his back, you can kind of see the fabric, not really folds, but just where you can tell it's fabric and not like somebody's skin, right? So that's interesting that it doesn't have texture, but it doesn't look flat. It doesn't look shiny. It looks good. You can see the obliques, the abdominals, they look great. Going up to the chest, you got his iconic Flash logo on his chest. It almost looks like he's doing like a baton run, right? Like he's grabbing the baton from the guy behind him and he's taking off. Let's see. I mean, I've heard criticisms that his hands are too big. Let's see. I mean, his hand looks like anyone's hand would to their face. So I think it looks good. I love the outstretched nature of his entire body. I think Daniel really captured that Olympic runner's physique. So the only skin texture is his face, and it looks good. You have kind of a nice skin texture. You know, we're getting really advanced now in the hobby where you have like almost these pores, these porous dots in his face. You got the eye decals, they look fine. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not a lot to really review because it's not that many pieces. It's a pretty simple piece. I mean, he's definitely dynamic, but I don't know. The way that it's done is just like a quiet, dynamic piece, if that makes sense. I think the Flash looks great. I like all categories. I like the concept. I like the sculpture. I like the paint. Nice price point. ES is not too bad. Let's take some measurements of him real quick before we let you get up out of here. So the base has a very small footprint, right? If you want to talk about how deep it is, or I guess the width, depending on how you position them, it's about 15 inches. But if you look at it this way, it's only about 7 inches. The statue itself is only about just shy of 19 inches tall. But I'm interested to see the length of the Flash, man. Like his body, yeah, it's about 22 inches he's outstretched. So He's got some height to him. You wouldn't think it's 19 inches because, I mean, you have a thin base. The base itself is only pretty much 2 inches, except for when you get to the back, it's about 5 inches. But yeah, I guess that's about it, man. What much more can I say about Barry Allen from DC Comics, the Flash statue? The only thing that I can really say on my piece is that I don't feel like I'm able to get his foot down in enough. I don't know if anyone else has had these problems. I try to stay away from watching reviews until I film mine because I don't want to get influenced. So I don't know if I'm supposed to push him in down harder. I guess it really is set up that way because, you know, there's a lot of concerns about leaning. But I hear the rod goes deep into his leg, and if that's really secure, that's probably what they did to prevent it. The other thing that I think, I don't know how I feel about his thigh going into his, like, crotch area. You know, I don't know how else you would have done it. And I'm not saying it's bad, I just don't know how I really feel about it. I guess his leg would be covering his belt a little bit, depending on the position he's in, right? But those would be two nitpicks. I'm going to put them up on the shelf here. Probably never something that I would notice again. I might play around with this a little bit. And by the time I release the review, it's probably going to be all the way in there. But I was kind of nervous with breaking it. But anyway, that is all, guys. Make sure you drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Flash Premium format. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 90,000 subscribers. We're just over 87K. And we're doing a giveaway for the Supergirl Premium Format statue by Sideshow once we hit 90,000. Also hit that notification bell so you're made aware when I decide to do a random sporadic live. Otherwise, we're dropping daily content every day at 11 a.m. Eastern. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like. Thanks for watching. You guys stay minty fresh. Peace.